So, Sam, I wanted to ask you, as you look to 2021, some investment strategy around advanced TV, what does the landscape look like around addressable, around programmatic? What are your hopes and kind of where would you like to invest?
I think we'd like to invest across all areas of the landscape in 2021. And obviously, we're going to dial up the channel allocation, dial up or dial down the channel allocation, depending on each client's goals and or even a particular campaign for a client. I think OTT at this point is kind of table stakes. As consumption is shifting out of the linear space and into the nonlinear space, OTT is where we know a lot of those eyeballs are headed. That was really incorporated into our media buys several years ago. And addressable and programmatic are tactics within our video buys that we use and tap into if we're trying to hone in on a particular strategic target and drive frequency against that target, obviously, and tap into the other benefits that those channels offer.
So I wanted to ask about, more specifically around addressable and what you're excited about, what you look to invest in. And then there's a lot of talk about national enablement of addressable. How do you see the addressable landscape developing?
Yes, absolutely. So, addressable in, the historical state existed in with the MVPDs, the Dish and Xandr and Ampersand and the 2 minutes of local or MVPD ad time. And the national enablement really is going to increase the scale of the addressable marketplace very considerably. It's making the inventory on that other 14 minutes of inventory, of commercial inventory on national TV networks addressably enabled. So that's going to make it a much larger landscape. And it's really exciting because it, kind of combines the scale and opportunity of national TV with the targetability that addressable has offered the past several years. So it's really exciting, and it feels like we're, at a great point in time where it's going to got some momentum and it's really getting started. But there are also still some challenges. There's a lot of different vendors and a lot of different publishers in the mix. What we really need is kind of standardization, and really trying to wade through that and understand how to transact in that marketplace is still kind of remains to be seen.
So just following up, if you were to sort of tell the sell side, make a wish list or lay out what your expectations for them to make this sort of advanced TV work better, what would you want to tell the sell side?
I mean, I understand what the sell side has been doing. They're trying to understand all the different ways that they can enable national addressable, the different companies and content owners and how they can all work together. But it's obviously because it's not completely standard yet. It's much more difficult and challenging to kind of move forward from the advertiser's perspective. So, like I was just saying, standardization is key, and collaboration. Obviously not the first person to say that. I think collaboration, especially in this landscape, is going to be what's going to make it move forward. Because what's going to be really difficult is if you have to transact with certain publishers and certain tech providers only within, a certain footprint, a few million TV sets over here, a few million households over here, and trying to bring that together and deliver back a media buy to a holistic media buy to a client is much more challenging than what we previously, when we were just, buying linear across the total TV landscape.
And Sam, a big conversation is about measurement, omni-channel measurement, and it's something that I'm sure your clients are looking for, you're looking for. Big announcement out of Nielsen this week. What about measurement? Are we there? What's needed? And, in this advanced TV world, what are some KPIs and how are they being measured, or how should they be measured?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think everybody would agree that measurement isn't quite there yet. We've been relying on Nielsen and their offerings for many years. And it sounds like they have plans to make some pretty big changes in the coming years. And even though it's several years out, they're giving themselves a good roadmap on what that means. But it's also, it's about combining different data sets. We've been historically using Nielsen to measure, demographic information, age, gender, and then using other data sets if we're honing in a strategic target and looking at strategic target impressions or GRPs. So what does that mean, and how do we combine that, especially if the bulk of the marketplace is still transacting on the Nielsen national currency?
And I know that Horizon has been a leader in terms of performance and results around advertising. How about measurement around performance of advanced TV? Where does that stand, and where should it be going? And what are sort of the expectations of your clients?
Yeah, I think business outcome results and business outcome guarantees is something that's absolutely top of mind for us at Horizon. We would love to be able to connect, not just guaranteeing that the audience are seeing our advertising, but that it's actually delivering sales lifts, location visits, brand health lifts, things like that. I think 2020 was a pivotal year. We had, a lot of those business outcome discussions in the works on behalf of our clients and with our partners. And, unfortunately, with everything else that with 2020, that sort of paused because of everything that happened. And we can't really use 2020 as a benchmark year, especially when we're looking at that for benchmark of those business results. So I think, we had some good momentum. We took a pause, but I think hopefully for everyone, 2021 will be a good year to get back on track. But even for business outcome results, I could see that being huge.